Good evening, everyone. I'm Pat Harvey, and we begin with the strikes that have paralyzed Hollywood. Tonight, the CEO of Netflix, the most powerful streamer in the world, is speaking out about the strikes for the first time, and he says he wants a deal now. KCAL News reporter Tom Wade is here with more on what he said and where the strike stands, Tom.
Right, and Pat, it's interesting because we haven't heard from him yet, and it'll be interesting to see if we hear from him again based on how he sort of presented this tonight. So today, Netflix announced billions of dollars in cash flow, millions of new subscribers, and the CEO also appeared to be raising an olive branch to strikers, saying he too is from a union home and that he understands the enormous financial and emotional cost of the strike. At the same time, the head of SAG-AFTRA says the streamers and studios are, quote, stonewalling them.
Let me start by making something absolutely clear. This strike is not an outcome that we wanted.
Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos speaking out publicly for the first time since the SAG strike began.
We make deals all the time. We are constantly at the table negotiating with writers, with directors, with actors, with producers, with everyone across the industry. And we very much hoped to reach an agreement by now.
Sarandos' statement came as Netflix Wednesday announced solid earnings, along with a $5 billion cash flow and almost 6 million new subscribers. Sarandos offered this appeal to striking Hollywood writers and performers.
I was raised in a union household. My dad was a member of IBEW Local 640. He was a union electrician. And I remember his local because that union was very much a part of our lives when I was growing up. And I also remember on more than one occasion my dad being out on strike. And I remember that because it takes an enormous toll on your family, financially and emotionally. So you should know that nobody here, nobody within the AMPTP, and I'm sure nobody at SAG or nobody at the WGA took any of this lightly.
Still, the studio stalemate continues.
I think stonewalling is their preferred technique.
Fran Drescher, president of the Actors Union, SAG-AFTRA, on talks breaking down with the AMPTP, the organization representing the studios and producers.
I wish we would be talking to the other side. We said we would start talking to them immediately, but they're punishing us. They don't want to talk to us.
The studios maintain SAG-AFTRA is distorting how the negotiations played out and say the actors walked away from a $1 billion overall raise, which included more money for residuals, health benefits, and new protections against AI.
Why would we go on strike if we were offered such an incredible deal? It doesn't make sense. We're not making $78,000 a day like the CEOs.
With Netflix reporting solid earnings and subscriber growth, the company is faring better than other major streamers like Disney, Warner Brothers, NBC Universal, and Paramount, which is the parent company of KCAL News. Those differences in how the companies are performing may be something the unions are hoping plays to their advantage.
I think there's a lot of feeling on the union side that these AMPTP companies, they can't possibly, they don't have the same business model. They can't possibly stay aligned forever either. And that sooner or later, one of them will crack and split off.
The studios may also be employing a similar strategy.
I think obviously from the AMPTP side, the hope is, the actors who actually have jobs to go to and projects in the works are going to, at a certain point, get fed up with this and tell the leadership it's time to end this.
Netflix's CEO also said there are a handful of complicated issues to be dealt with. He said he is super committed to getting an agreement as soon as possible, one that's equitable, he said, and one that allows everyone in the industry to move forward into the future. So, Pat, I don't know. I mean, maybe there's a glimmer of hope there. I don't know.
It's a very different picture. A story from what we've heard earlier from the writer's strike.
Right.
We had some reporting that the head of a studio said that they would just wait for the writers to run out of money and use that as a bargaining tactic.
Yeah.
But with the Netflix CEO, that seems to be a different approach that he's taking, at least publicly.
I think so too. And you look at that tone, and it almost seemed like he was saying, "Look, we get it. We know this is creating hardship." So maybe that will be an olive branch to the actors union. But I mean, until they talk about a time to get back to the table, I mean,
Because that's
They're still-
everybody, the
right.
other studio heads, the broadcast, cable.
Exactly.
All right, well, thanks so much, Tom.
Thanks, Pat.
That is a new development.
Yep.
Okay. Well, a report shows that film production rapidly declined in the LA area. Film LA shows on-location filming dropped nearly 20% in the second quarter of this year compared to 2022. This trend began before the strikes. Production in LA has been down for 6 straight quarters. The president of Film LA says numbers haven't been this low since the middle of the pandemic.